April the 6th. He descended into hell. For Christ, being put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the Spirit, went and preached to the spirits in prison, who formerly did not obey, when God's patience waited in the days of Noah. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 18 to 20. When Jesus descended into hell, he entered not Gehenna, but Hades. In other words, he really died. And it was from a genuine, not a simulated death, that he rose. Acts chapter 2, verses 31 to 32. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 18 to 20, tells us briefly what Jesus did in Hades. First, by his presence, he made Hades into paradise, a place of pleasure for the penitent thief and presumably for all the others who died trusting him during his earthly ministry, just as he does now for the faithful departed. Luke chapter 23, verse 43, Philippians chapter 1, verses 21 to 23, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 6 to 8. Second, he perfected the spirits of Old Testament believers, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23, and chapter 11, verse 40, bringing them out of the gloom which Sheol, the pit, had hitherto been for them. Psalm 88, verses 3 to 6, and 10 to 12. Into the same paradise experience. This is the core of truth in the medieval fantasies of the harrowing hell. Third, he went and preached, presumably announcing his kingdom and appointment as the world's judge, to the spirits in prison who had rebelled in antediluvian times, presumably the fallen angels of 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 4 to 10, who are also the sons of God in Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 to 4. Some have based on this one text a hope that all humans who did not hear the gospel in this life, or who, having heard it, rejected it, will have it savingly preached to them in the life to come. Peter's words provide no warrant for this inference. A first, non-saving announcement to a group of fallen angels does not imply a second saving announcement to the whole host of unsaved human dead. Had Peter believed in the latter, surely he would have said it straightforwardly. Do Philippians chapter 1, verses 19 to 26, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, 1 to 10, and 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 16 to 18 really express my attitude to death? Lord Jesus, thank you that you lead me through no darker rooms than you went through before.